gods and mortals meet. Legends rise from ancient stone. Heroes' fates are yet unknown. Travial, where the echoes call. In the night the darkness falls. Through the storm, through the flame, heroes rise to carve their name. From the ruins of the past to the battles that will last, every choice a path to tread. In this world where fate is led, Travial, where the echoes call. In the night the darkness falls. Through the storm, through the flame, heroes rise to carve their name. Through the trials, through the pain, destinies in blood are stained. Magic weaves the threads of time. In Travial, where legends glide. Travial, where the echoes call. In the night the darkness falls. Through the storm, through the flame, heroes rise to carve their name. So gather close, the tale begins in Travial, where the dark wind sings. Join the fight, take up the call, for in this world, heroes rise or they fall. Where the echoes call, in the night the darkness falls. Through the storm, through the flame, heroes rise to carve their name.
All right, welcome everyone to our wonderful Pathfinder game. I got myself, Ruby Mad Hatter, who is playing Sylvana Frostfire. We have Melody, who is playing Vina Questor, our Catfolk Bard.
Hello, hello, hello.
We have Inquisition, who's playing Jose Questor, our Catfolk Inquisitor of Omnu Ketna.
Hi. Let's pray to the one in the sky.
We have Anne, who is playing Draha Kulir, ASMR Cleric of Crass Firehand.
Hello.
We have Angelwoman playing Rai Hajime, Kitsune Fighter.
Hello.
We have the Fat Guy, who's playing Hedon, a Elven Rogue Fighter.
And I will rule one day.
And then lastly, but certainly not least, Fedorian playing Belle and Miss Daye, a human cleric / spiritualist of Omnu Ketna, and a ghost.
Bonjour. And the ghost is actually a phantom of hatred. Hello.
Yes.
Let us begin.
Yes. Where we left off, we're in Fern Dockety, and the group had just gotten access to the library in the Nobles District, where they spent the day researching for the most part.
I'm home.
Yeah, Belle was rather excited. Sylvana was also quite happy. So on and so forth. The party did eventually go to a tavern. Excuse me. So there was that. The party did get lost trying to find the library for a while.
Hey, Jinx.
Yeah.
Great minds, bad sense of direction.
Yep. In that process, Belle did buy perfume. and Vina noted a store that she wanted to go back to when they weren't looking for the library. And I forgot to write down the name of the inn.
Oh. It was recorded, though.
It was recorded. So
Silverleaf or something like that? Maybe?
something leaf, yeah. All right. Either way, we'll say the gilded leaf for now.
Mm-hmm.
And it was run by an elven woman. I remember that much.
Yes. Yes, the questers, well, they made the arrangements, and now she has cause to have concern.
Yeah.
I don't know what you mean. We have done a perfect job of acquiring arrangements and suitable accommodations.
Now, mind you, the party also dealt with how do I want to put this? The noble that was very vivacious, and in the process of meeting him, they also met Draha's brother.
Oh,
Yes.
yes.
One of them.
I recall this lovely fellow.
Yes, and
Right.
during that conversation, we had the lore drop of not only did Draha have siblings, she has 4 brothers, and she apparently crossed the uh, world to get away from them, which we did not know at all.
By the way, the name of the tavern is the Silver Leaf. I actually found it in some other notes.
Ha!
So, yep. And of course, everybody got their meals, things of that nature. One thing that I have that I remember is Sylvana's food was very light, as she admits that she often tries to keep an eye on her figure.
Okay.
She
I thought it
doesn't.
was just an elf thing, but okay.
No. Like she
Still
note
gonna get fat.
she notes that she tries to keep herself fit at least, or at least more slender.
Uh-huh.
So there is that. All right, so you guys wake up in the morning because you guys had gone to sleep after the party. The ladies were drugged back from the library and told
Yeah,
to
there
go
was
to fucking sleep.
yeah, well, before the sleep, there was a certain appointment to be kept between Belle and Rye.
Right.
Yep.
The two of the most socially awkward of the group. Rye, would you like to make any commentary first?
Nope.
It's like nope.
Not really.
Yep. And that's pretty much the way it started at the beginning. A lot of awkward
Yep.
silence and nervous glances over menus. And then Belle finally got it and got to the point of, okay, you were asking about Amuketna and all that stuff. And proceeded to unintentionally go from her connections, her personal connection to Amuketna, to her personal history, and proceeded to open the floodgates of her. Well, she did reveal that she hadn't had so much baggage as one person termed it, luggage. But Rye has some history of his own.
Yep.
Apparently, he is from a noble family in Intigaya, and his parents were killed in an attack during the infighting that is currently happening in Itagaya due to a civil war.
Oops, from a player from another game.
Yes. Travial has a deep, rich history that remains to be published.
Yep.
Oh yeah.
And it was while he and his sister were in hiding that his sister became ill, and in the process of trying to stay in hiding, and due to the fact that they are more of the unique variety,
Yep.
he went outside of Itagaya to try to find help.
And mind you, it's his first time leaving, so he doesn't know much.
And then, as as the sharing was happening, the questers were inspired. And so V was a lovely performance as usual.
Thank you.
Until Jose decided to join in, and despite his highly skilled abilities, proceeded to roll an infamous 1. And when Belle realized all the attention that was being directed their way because of it, she got embarrassed and ran. And that was the end of the night. Though there was apparently some lore dropped about Sylvana and Draha's romantic history as well. But that is not my story to tell.
Oh, my
What
dear.
romantic history for Draha? There is none.
Exactly. Something about the brothers being cock blocking, which I do believe the questers overheard. Because, well, they know all.
Yeah, they're endlessly nosy.
Oh, yes. As my dear wife and I come down the stairs, I'll simply remark to her, my dear, our necromancing is delightful. Wouldn't you say it's quite jubilant?
I like it when you romance my neck. It feels tickly.
Oh, my dear,
That's what
I'll
that meant.
I will romance your neck and necromance it any time you wish. My hands and my tongue are always at your disposal.
Oh my.
Children.
There's children here. Oh, excuse me, I had no idea.
Don't make us send you to horny jail.
Well on the way.
I know the
Oh,
yards
boy.
too, so you know.
Oh my.
As I look upon the others assembled, I will simply remark, so, how did everyone sleep? As I look over at a certain someone.
You'll have to be a little more
Belle.
specific. Oh.
Belle.
She definitely does not look like she got a full night's sleep and definitely has at least one death glare, but proceeds to straighten herself out and go, well, I can at least hope that we have the room to have at least one more day to allow some more research.
I think we were good for a couple of days before that ship left.
Okay.
So, tell me. Hold on a moment. All right, are you nearby?
Yes, what do you want?
I simply wish to inquire whether you planned for later. I'm assuming you and my dear associate believer will be spending time in the library, yes?
Yes.
Yes.
Well then, would it interest you to know that by no actions of mine whatsoever, or my dear lovely V's, some of the library staff have been given certain questions about food and opening up a small cantina type place inside. I assure you this wasn't my doing.
Okay.
Ah, bien. That will be useful.
Yes.
And at this point,
I hope that you also calculated for the fact that Sylvana will be also at the library researching.
Indeed. She nods and goes, I will be there.
Though
uh,
there
go
is
on.
one suggestion I would like to make. Um, Perhaps Draha and Rai would actually be best for it to see whether or not any inquiries can be made with any of the possible chapels or temples of Ephraim to look into, well, seeing a bit more into the nature of Rai's sister's condition. I will do my best, but medicine and nature are not part of my expertise. Though I also had the thought that it's quite possible that uh, his sister's restrictions might also quite possibly be the result of a curse. I will work to narrow that part down. But, well, if we can get any further information before we get anywhere, it could be useful. Aside from that, I'm hoping to hear from the Whitner house at least once more, possibly, before we leave.
That would be more than likely wise, especially if we speak with the daughter more than anything.
Yes,
I
well,
agree.
it, that would be preferable, but apparently, what the subjects I'm looking into, I would need to speak with her uncle again.
Didn't he say he has? Didn't she say also he has a library too there in his off study?
Yes, he has a more in-depth expertise with the planes, and I have some very specific questions that I'd like to ask. and possibly collaborate with him on.
I'm good with going to the temple with Rye. Go investigate more for his sister.
As I look around to the assembled people here, I'm going to first go to my fellow believer and remark, my dear worshipper of the flock, enabler of education and riser of IQs. I'm going to be rather busy, so I entrust you with a growing knowledge that you may preview at the library. But if you'll excuse me, O.V., I must see you momentarily. Come with me, we must away to the boudoir, for once more I wish to see you and have delights with you.
Hold person.
Oh, no, let them go. Let them go. We at
I'm
least
only
don't
doing
know where
this,
they
and then
are.
I'm going to carry his ass up the stairs, drop them in his room, shut the door, release the spell, and run.
What? No, Melody.
And
Mostly
when
so
we
I
are
don't have to
one,
hear him.
while Jose and V are alone, V is going to cast a spell.
Uh-oh.
There you go.
Oh,
Is
my
that me or
God.
him? Or
Hey,
both?
if you're within distance, it hits you too.
Oh, no.
Adraha's just confused by it.
I mean,
Yeah, she's just shutting the door when the thing happens, and she's like, what the hell?
yeah.
The DC is
I'm fine.
Yep.
I like what the fuck, try and shake my head clear, and then just walk down the stairs going, "That was weird."
That could have got awkward.
Yay for will saves and being a cleric.
Yep.
All right, so they're locked in the door. We have Raha and Rai going to the local temple, and we have Sylvana and Belle going to the library, correct?
Mm-hmm.
And where is Guy going in all this? Where's Hedon going?
I think I'm going to stay in a central location.
Holding down the fort.
No,
Not correct.
yeah, because I'm not entirely sure what everybody's doing or why they're doing it. So I'm just going to kind of.
Well,
Oh, I
feel
want to go see if I can find and check into a guild.
Which guild?
See if I can. I'll start with the Fighters Guild
All right.
just to see what kind of what the word on the street is, what's going on. Anything major happening nearby.
yeah, anybody we can shank real quick, that'll be great.
Uh-huh. All right. With that being said, let's see. Where goes first? That would be Temple. Temple people. All right. I had to look to see which one was going to be first based on distance. All right. So you go into the local noble's temple. And in this case, it is it is a temple to Saturnos, which is the god of civilization. He is also the god of money and merchants. As when you walk in, you'll notice that while he is technically the god of civilization, and that is a big thing that he does, and that merchants and money are not as big of a thing usually, here it seems like that has been flipped on its head. As there are some civilization like things here, like, prayer, like a few prayers on the walls to, like, a good building, like a good city planning building thing, like where a building stands strong and lives a while, things of that nature. But a lot of the prayers up on the walls and decorations seem to be geared towards merchants making more money.
I don't think this is the god we really want to deal with.
No, it's not.
As you enter there, there's a gentleman that's kind of sitting by the entrance. He goes, "Welcome to the Temple of Saturnos. How can I assist you today?" And, like, right next to him, as he says this, you look at him and you'll notice right next to him is a donation box.
I came here to get information about I don't know how to say this, of a curse.
How would I properly say? I'm looking for the whatever, insert goddess's name or god's name of healing. Where's that temple in the area?
That would be the god of Ephraim, the god of well-being, or Shayla the Bright, depending on what level of potency you're looking for.
A temple to either in the area. That's what she would ask upon realizing this is just kind of a money-hungry place.
Yeah.
He'll think for a moment and goes, "You might find a temple to Ephraim in the poor district of the city, though I dare say it's probably not going to have the knowledge or a skill necessary for what you're looking for involving curses. They mostly provide alms to the poor."
She just kind of raises an eyebrow at him, and you would have this information. Why?
Well, after all, curses and things of that nature are not good for, business, essentially. Or in some cases, they're useful for business if you apply them correctly. It depends on what you're looking for.
Just a certain curse or something to heal someone.
Interesting. Okay, do you happen to know the potency of said curse?
No. Just suddenly got sick with.
Interesting. Well, let me think. I mean, I'm sure we could probably find something to help you with. He looks around for a moment and goes, Well, let me see. Well, we do have a couple of priests who are probably of sufficient skill necessary to deal with most curses. Do you happen to have the subject here with you that's been cursed?
No. She's back at my house, home.
I see, and I'm guessing this is a fair distance away then?
Yes.
Ah. So you'll be needing a scroll.
Yeah.
Alright, let me see. I'm certain we could probably help you with that. Let me see. For 500 gold, we could provide you with the scroll of remove curse.
Okay, sure.
Excellent. Wait here one moment then. It'll take about an hour for this to be made.
Okay.
So like he goes off. Now at first he's like walks off for a few moments and then goes. Second thought. One quick thing. The 500 gold, please, so that way I can hand it to the person making the scroll.
I give him the 500 gold.
Excellent. He nods and then walks off. After a little while, about an hour and a half, he comes back and goes, "I apologize for the wait. Here's the scroll you requested."
Thank you.
Yes. Go. May your travels be safe and fruitful.
Thank you.
All right. So you head off.
Yes.
All right. So there's that. All right, library time.
Ding ding, book fort.
Yep. So you arrive back at the library. The librarian just kind of eyes you both for a moment and just goes, "Your tables are over there waiting for you as usual from yesterday's behavior."
Mercy. You give a little curtsy.
Yep. You'll head over to the tables. You'll notice that they've been changed out. They are not as nice as before, but they look like they're more built for sturdiness.
Oh.
They gave you the industrial style tables for the amount of books you guys were going through.
Yes. And let's see. And Belle will actually range the library for even more books, though sadly she doesn't have the assistant carriers that she had from previous times, so she's a bit more judicious about her subjects. And proceeds to settle down and somewhere fairly nearby Sylvana, who's probably already at work, and begins her own little research.
All right, so what is Belle researching?
All right. Well, she didn't have luck with the path, and she was going through once again the battery of history, arcana, and what was the third one? So she's moving away. Yeah, history, religion, and arcana. So she's moving away from that. And oh, she's picked up more than a few more tomes that refer more to the histories of, well, past barbaric and barbarian cultures, looking into the nature of the berserker warriors, and more than a few monk ascetic texts. And she is basically, she's noticed that some of the stuff with Miss Daae has been highly emotionally related. So she's just looking into the various uh classes that have strong emotions or the control of emotions tied to them. And well, she is also picking up more stuff based around shapeshifters in relation to uh transmutation magic, with hopes to get some insight as to where the magic ends and the powers of nature begin, and sort of find that line. I'm going big and vague, I know, but stuff that's both going to help her and stuff that will hopefully get help with the Rise sister. By the way, is there a name for Rise sister yet?
Nope.
Might want to start cooking on that.
Yeah. Okay, I will.
All right. But that is the where her wonderful little studies are going to lead.
All right, go ahead and let's see. You're looking into lycanthropy, so that's religion in this case.
Mm-hmm.
You're still keeping an eye out, from my understanding of the path.
Mm-hmm.
So there's some history there, because there is the symbol on the book, or several symbols.
Mm-hmm.
So that might help you out there.
Right. And basically it's just
So that's
a
history.
lot of, yep. And it's just like going into the nature of magic and whatnot is like fun times. And also prepping for any future talks with Whitner. So she's also going, basically down the lines, I'm going to be doing an arcana check, history check, the planes, and her religion. Ooh, she is not liking what she's coming across.
Yeah, religion's not going to help.
Yeah, also, she's also looking on a, with a religious sort of bent at the monk stuff about self-knowledge and controlling emotions. So, at some point, Sylvana's going to probably find herself interrupted by Belle just starting to mutter to herself, and there's like tap, 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 and all that stuff while she's going over one of the tomes.
Yeah, you're probably going to be like, this makes no goddamn sense.
It's like, this doesn't. No, this is not the least bit helpful. It's about anger. And what and all that stuff is sudden, not.
Yep. Okay, history. Oh boy. The history one is high enough with the symbols.
Ooh.
The symbology of the Book of the Path is similar, but not exact, is similar to ancient Taurine pictograph drawings of some of their arcane rituals.
Oh. Well, that's something to note for later.
Uh-huh.
And that is um disconcerting to say the least.
If Belle was going to make a guess off this check and her knowledge, um, it is possible if based on what she knows,
Mm-hmm.
that the most likely thing would be whoever wrote this originally probably came across a Taurine ruin and found some information in it, and because of that, they took it and made it into a religion.
Mm-hmm. Wow. Apparently, I need to look into any peers in the archaeology field because wouldn't because Taurine ruins, even Taurine relics are also infamously in some of the false tombs as well.
Yes. All right. As you peruse through the library, though, you'll notice there are quite a few books here, but you know this library is just not quite having the information you need.
Mm-hmm.
Sorry, got something caught in my throat. Your best guess is if you want to research this particular subject, at least the Taurine, your best bet
Mm-hmm.
is going to be the libraries in Sahir.
Which is where we're going.
Yeah.
But
But
you never know when you might find something useful in a place that you least expect.
Yep. For the lycanthropy stuff, you find some of the most basic information. It's often passed as a disease, through bites, something you already know. Someone inflicted with it with magic is usually no different than someone who has been inflicted with it.
Right. And there is the fact that I'm also looking into somebody who whose shapeshifting may or may not be related to lycanthropy, and they are currently stuck one way or another. I didn't get the details of that out of Rye.
Hmm. Yeah. Okay. Looking. Notes. Okay, thank you. Yeah, but like I said, unfortunately, you don't find anything involving infliction of um lycanthropy other than through contact with a lycanthrope. So
Okay.
nothing in particular there helpful with a 17.
Right.
Your knowledge of the planes gets you nada
Mm.
because you didn't even break 15. And knowledge arcana, there are several spells that can inflict lycanthropy.
Mm-hmm.
They usually require touch, or they can be done via an object.
Hmm.
So, like, you curse an object, and whoever, touches said object without saying proper command phrase or whatever, trigger you put into it, will get hit with the same spell that could possibly cause lycanthropy.
Hmm.
So there is that. Any other
Yay.
questions?
Right. I think at this point it's just research to better narrow down what some better questions with a better informed source is going to be. But this will keep her occupied very well.
All right. So that is your library search for this trip?
Mm-hmm.
Excellent. All right, so you guys get your library stuff done. The day progresses, and you head back at the end of the day when the library starts to close, because otherwise, Belle would not leave.
Nope. It is like definitely there until somebody collects her, or somebody, collects her.
And Sylvana would be the exact same.
And once again, there is that amusing moment where it's like, I'm not done reading this book, and gets the hairy eyeball as she's like just about to put the book into her pocket. And she just takes note of the book instead. And, well, in the midst of, I don't know, talking shop and trading notes with Sylvana, uh, Belle will reach into her pocket and it's like, oh yeah, uh, by the way, I happened to pick up a little something while we were, uh, well, during those mishaps on the yesterday.
Oh.
I hope that it's a little something, but I hope you might like it. And hands over the pouch with the sample of perfume in it.
Sylvana will kind of like blink for a moment at it and kind of smile, and then like lightly uncork it and smell it and just kind of nod and go, this is pretty close to what I already wear. Thank you.
Yeah.
I guess.
I know that we've been on the road for quite some time, so it's not much, but
Yeah, I was worried that I would have to make some more myself, but this saves me a lot of time and effort. Thank you.
well, the scent suits you, so I'm glad you like it.
I need to make a save.
Oh.
Fuck. Fuck. Wow. Okay. The dice really want this to fucking happen. At the end of the conversation that you guys have, you'll notice that Sylvana's face suddenly like flushes like red throughout most of it.
Mm-hmm.
Like any concept of
She's
her
embarrassed.
any concept of her, not showing emotion just went straight out the fucking window.
Yeah. She might have gotten the innuendo of the scent suits you.
Yeah. Yeah, that was my thought process too. It's like, uh-oh. That's why I made the saves.
Mm-hmm.
It's like, oh no. All right. She will stammer for a bit and just goes, and she'll think for a moment and go, Okay. And like lean over and give like Belle a kiss on the cheek.
And there is going to be no will save for that, as Belle is like bright red as we proceed to enter the inn.
Yep.
She is cherry red.
Yep, they're both very red right now as they enter the inn. So Guy, you would see that, and Draha and Rai would be back before you two would be because they went to the temple and came back. All right.
Okay.
Which case,
Okay.
So Vanna is going to go straight to the bar.
Why do you two look like tomatoes?
It was an invigorating walk. And
Right. Okay.
As Sylvana will order an elven white wine, and she'll look over at Belle and go, red or white?
I prefer the reds, actually.
Okay. And she'll order a dark wood red. All right. So, in which case, she'll be given both wine. She'll pay for that. Go over to Belle, hand her wine, which is a full body red wine, with rich with berry undertones. And you'll see Sylvana almost pretty much just down the glass immediately.
And I am just looking around. So we are waiting for the questers to finish whatever they're doing.
Boom, chicka, boom, chicka, boom, boom, boom.
God damn it.
Bow chicka wow wow.
A gentleman will come into the tavern. He'll look around the Silver Leaf and he'll notice the group and he'll go, the people I'm probably looking for. He goes, would you be... Honestly, they didn't give me a name for your little collective, but the people who have been dealing with Whitmore's?
Correct.
Excellent. He'll hand you a little note and be like, this is just to inform you that your boat will be ready on the docks of the river in the morning. Please bring this letter to the dockmaster and he will put you on the right boat.
Thank you. Takes the letter.
Thank you.
Shoves it into boat purse.
He'll look at you guys and go, at some point, if you're going to stay together for the long term, you may wish to look into a name for your groups. That way you're easier to find.
We'll
I'll
take
think
that
about
into
it.
consideration. Yes.
Excellent. I'm just stating what would be best just in the future.
I know the perfect name.
You always come with the great names.
Oh no, what now?
Or the Ballards. Love story dramas. Yeah. Or the Ballards.
Well, we definitely have a distinguished bard with us. Looking around for V.
She's currently cuddling up with Jose, just snuggling.
And I'm just hugging her right back as we're both just sitting there.
Well, I take it I
I
won't
think
be
you
able.
done
Done
with
making
your
strangled cat noises.
I think the phrase that Belle is looking for is toujours l'amour.
Yes, though it looks like I won't be able to consult with the elder Whitnor, which is disappointing. But we'll see whether or not there might be just as good of sources in Zahir. Though, takes out map.
As long as I don't have to deal with Bonehead again, I'm good.
Though, the boat going up the river, we may also need to take an additional boat to Lanark Coast. Because I believe that is the port that we'll be using to get to the ships that will go to Kashtun. Unless somebody else knows better than me, which, well, she once again gets a little red, and for a very different reason. Maps and I clearly are not my specialty as other subjects.
Noted.
How did finding the consultation with Ephraim go?
It went well. I got a scroll, hoping that might help. How was
Very
yours?
Most of my leads were, well, this library is a bit disappointing when it comes to magic, so we'll have to see what other sources along the way might reveal.
Mm-hmm.
Indeed. After all, most of the books here seem to be focused on whatever makes these people money.
Yes, I've noticed that as well.
Yep. Dear God. What's the god's name again?
Saturnos or Ephraim? Which one are you asking about?
The one with the money.
Saturnos.
Saturnos is the one with the money.
Yes. They seem to be focusing on one particular aspect.
Yep.
I've never really worried about money too much. I mean, you can't eat it. You can if you buy food with it, but you can't eat it. You've got to buy it anyway. I'm not worried about money.
Oh,
Oh,
good evening, V. Did you ever find that one shop that you showed an interest in before we met with the Whitners? You and Hidan seemed very interested in what that shopkeep had to offer. Should we make a stop before we head out tomorrow?
I'd like that. Jose and I have been really busy, so I've not had much chance to go shopping or anything.
and at that point, you're going to hear a shout from above you shouting, "Make way for Jose!" as I fall down from the ceiling.
Shit the love!
I literally take one step sideways and let him hit the ground.
Sweetheart, are you okay? Come here, honey bunch.
And like I'll pull out like a big, I don't know what they're called, but like the big, Hold on, I'll ask Melody because Melody will be able to translate what I want in the American.
Toilet plunger.
I have like a toilet plunger on each hand and one attached to each of my feet, and I remark, "Oh, but seem they work only so far as across the ceiling, but then you're stuck. They start losing their suction."
Aha just blinks at him, and shakes her head like you're an idiot, but she doesn't actually say it.
It was a good idea, sweetheart. I'm sorry it didn't work out.
It's fine. Well, the next time
I'm
we
not
get a
worried.
little.
Let me
What was
show
that?
you a thing or two of crawling around.
I don't think we have time for that. There's so many places to crawl around. But next time we get drunk and I see some of my writing, I'm not going to follow through on it. That was kind of sore.
And you're doing this before you got drunk.
Yes, for science.
I taken a big gulp of my red wine.
Seeing you do that, I'm just going to wander up to you and whisper, "So, how did your not date go? Good, I hope. If not,
I'm
I
doing
can."
diplomacy to ask the bartender if I can cook in the kitchen for a little bit just to get away from this.
Yeah, he'll allow it. Or in this case, she'll allow it.
So, how did your not date go? If you need some assistance, I've got a spare 500 gold burning a hole in my pocket. I can always get a few people to serenade you and parade. I have enough money, I could get a parade going for you to ensure your date is going well. I shall return.
No, no, no.
I come out about an hour later. I come out bearing platters of yummy food for the rest of the party.
Hey, food.
So, Ruby, what I need to go to for this to work?
Okay, which store are you going to? What are you doing?
Jose got the idea of a parade to help his fellow believers in the faith to have a better date.
Okay, so you're requiring people to do a parade.
Yes. What do you want me to roll for this?
Diplomacy.
Yeah. Oh, wait. Hold on. And if I remember right, that should give me a +3 on top of my diplomacy.
Yep, one's competence, one's luck. So yes.
And I get to roll twice.
Alright. You are able to convince a sizable group of poor people to agree to do this.
I am happy enough to waste 500 gold on this because it's going to be fun, and I have enough gold on me to ensure I'm not going to miss the 500.
Fair enough, fair enough. Alright, so...
No, wait. I'm going to put 1,000 on it.
Oh, Jesus.
What did I miss? Everybody's rolling in money.
And, like, what do I do now? I want to rope in V, and
The
I want to
questers
rope
being the
in...
questers.
I want to rope V, and I want to rope Hadon into this. So I'll quickly just poke my head in and go, V, hey Don, help! As I close the door.
Oh, sweetheart, what's the matter? As I
Oh,
run
I'm all
out to
about
see
it.
what's going on.
I look at everybody else around me and I'm like, you know, if we
Nope.
run now, we just might escape whatever that is.
Yep.
Yeah, I agree. We should.
I pick up the platters I've made and go, let's go to our room.
Hearing what everybody just said, I'm gonna stand at the bottom of the stairs and block everybody's way.
Thank
He has
you,
paid good
Don.
money for your entertainment. You will enjoy. And just give a little smirk.
What's
Uh-huh.
Hidon's class again? I would know this.
He's a
Fighter.
fighter rogue. So what are you going to do?
I'm trying to remember if this spell, my favorite spell, works on him.
Maybe.
You're trying hold person, aren't you?
Fighters don't have great will saves, do they? I know
No.
rogues do.
Fighters
Well,
will
one way to
save
find out.
is not particularly stellar.
Okay, he's frozen. I go, help me shift him slightly. We shift him, and then I take up off the stairs with the food.
Yep.
We get to our room. As soon as all the girls get upstairs at one, and Rye get upstairs to avoid this, it's like, okay, help me shove furniture in front of the door and block the window.
Sure.
The beginning.
Now we can eat in peace.
Yep.
Only
Belle,
for a man like
Savannah, are
him.
you two okay with this?
Yes.
Yes.
So, Ruby, I will be going to everyone I can meet and informing them all that there will be some gold in it for them if they not only point me in the direction of those who know how to use their musical equipment, but those who know how to handle and direct a parade, as I wish to ensure a great feast of the mind and delight of the eyes.
Okay, these are all poor people. They have no clue how to run a parade or anything like that, but they'll do whatever you tell them, like march-wise and stuff.
Oh God.
Fantastic.
Uh, the cartoon, the Junkyard Band.
Yep.
Yeah.
That's what comes to mind for me. Melody, do you have any clue what I'm talking about?
I remember the Cosby Kids had musical instruments made out of junk.
Yeah, that's the one I was thinking of.
I start conducting them, and as V is out with me, I will turn to V and state, My dear V, I wish you to lead them in the musical acquirement of which you are so depthly adept.
All right, so that stands, and I'm going to do a performance. Poetry is my best, so I'm going to try and get them reciting poetry with me. Love poetry.
And all the while, oh, wow. As V is getting ready to guide them in that, I start getting like I'm running to the shops asking for big banners to be held by some of the people with names on it and stuff, and I'm telling them what I want. And I state, listen, if you can get me this within half an hour, I'll pay you triple your current price.
He's gonna blink at you and be like, as much as I could use the money, I don't need the calamity that will become.
I'm gonna smile at him and
Her.
I will smile at her and go, my dear lady, this is in service of the great Anuketna. It is not often that one of her line seeks love, and I intend to ensure that this goes down in history as the greatest event ever. And think of it, you will be able to state that your banners decorated this monumental achievement. And furthermore, think of the prestige your lovely office will acquire. I'm sure the nobles will begin seeing your skills at work here and begin to inquire for their own accomplishments.
She's gonna look at you and kind of like, the innkeeper will kind of lean forward and go, I'm not particularly interested, thank you. But for that particular deity, I think you would do better in Sahir.
I'm going to keep the smile up and I will wander on to the next shop and I'm going to keep going till I find one that's willing to help me out. And now that I think about it, I'm going to track down V and remark, hey V, where did Hadan go? I asked for both of you.
She's going to think very, very hard, which is not easy for her, and be, I don't know where he went. I didn't see where he went. I've been working so hard on this that I just didn't notice. I'm sorry, sweetheart.
I'll embrace her in a hug and a kiss and I'll just say, worry not, my dear. I'll find him and carry on. I can hear the luscious tones of your delightful vocal cords. They sing to my ears as music. On to make the happy couple even happier and delighted in their new love. They won't be able to hold a candle to our love, but let's see them try and encourage their flame, shall we?
So thoughtful, sweetheart. I love you.
And I you. I'll kiss my beautiful wife, and then I'll run straight to the inn to get a hold of Hidan. Is he still under hold person?
Not by this point.
Hidan, you lovable man, you. I seek assistance, and I'm going to include you in my devilish plan to further the great Anuketna's secret weavings of love and tapestry.
All right, what you need?
Well, hold on. Where's the others?
Well, one of them viciously cast a spell at me. I almost died. They locked themselves in a room.
Oh! Well, if they think they can outsmart me like that, they're wrong. Is there two entrances to this place, Ruby?
I mean, yes, but also at the same time,
That's all I needed to know.
they're up in the room, which only has either
Doesn't matter. I only needed to know if there was 2 entrances. I will turn to Hedan and remark, I want you to help me, my dear friend. My lovely V is leading a rather rambunctious group of people in singing, and she's doing quite a magnificent job, I must say. But I need you to help orchestrate the music. Don't worry if you don't really know what you're doing. I tend to find just waving your arms around tends to help. The people playing the music tend to get what you're trying to tell them to do. You
I
actually know
got
how
it.
to conduct someone?
I can get some noises out of them, no problem.
Fantastic. Come with me. I'll lead you outside and I'll say, this is your music group. Now, I need to have a quick word with V, but please tell them to take place in the tavern. No, wait, was it a tavern or an inn we were staying at?
An inn.
Tell them to take up places in the inn so that the music may waft its way above and through the roof and up to their gloriously waiting ears. Oh,
You got it.
V! We're almost ready. I've got the group ready to march forward in a long circle around the city so they continuously march through the inn. Are you ready for the singing, my dear?
I am, sweetheart. I'm looking forward to this.
Let's go!
All right, so those who are in the Silverleaf Tavern, sorry, it's a tavern. What spells do you have ready, Draha?
Silence in mass.
Okay.
Literally, I left them the food and I secluded myself to a side room so the 3 of them are by themselves to have a conversation over good food with the doors blocked. I will silence the outside of this room so they are left alone if I have to.
All right. So you guys are given a good meal and sat at a table inside the suite, and Draha basically goes outside and looks at you all and goes, talk, and then leaves.
I'm still in the suite. I'm just in a side room, mostly because we have the main door blocked.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna get, sorry, go ahead.
All right. So at that point, that leaves Rye, Savannah, and Belle. You're in a room together. And Belle, I would say, sorry, Sylvana is slightly blushing. Still from earlier.
Mm-hmm.
How are Belle and Rye reacting to this whole situation?
Rye is annoyed with this. You can tell by his face. He's annoyed.
I said it before, and I will say it again. I believe there is a conspiracy.
There's definitely a conspiracy.
Yeah.
From outside, you hear 76 trombones led the big parade.
And silence spells around the room start popping up.
I have a question in regard to those silent spells. How many can you cast? Like, does your class have like a set number of spells they can do a day?
I can cast it up to 5 times. And I can hold it.
I'm just asking out of curiosity because if they can't hear it, you might be able to hear it, in which case you'll have to cast it
I
on
will have to
yourself as
suffer
well.
through it because I'm outside the zone because I'm casting it on the window so they can't hear it from coming in from outside. I have to suffer with it. They don't.
So at which point, Sylvana's gonna look at Rye and Belle and be like, okay. So obviously there is a conspiracy here to get us to at least talk together, all 3 of us at the same time, in order to save ourselves possible future aggravation. Why don't we at least have the conversation, right? Me and Rye have talked before, and I noticed that, Belle, you and Rye have gone out on a date, but you also provided me a gift. So, Belle, the question then becomes, are you seeking to develop some sort of relationship with maybe both of us?
Well,
You dirty dog, you.
Have we
I
delved
know
into
that
truffle territory here?
is like, and Belle looks at from Rye to Sylvana and Sylvana to Rye, and I'm like, well, I know that. Oh, yes, I know this is probably the cowardly and, well, there is no maybe. This is the cowardly and selfish answer, but is it just, well, I don't see any particular reason to choose between the two of you. I mean, I I'll be perfectly honest. You both deserve much better than I do. Much better than me, but
Sylvana will
it,
will look at Belle and just think for a moment, and then look over at Ryan and go, I think some boundaries need to be put into place. Would you not agree?
I agree.
All right. Rye, do not expect any kissing from me. I have no problems hugging you, but you are decidedly the wrong gender for me to be attracted to. Do not get me wrong. You are easy on the eyes. All right, you are enjoyable to look at, but I do not have any desire for male companionship.
I understand.
If 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 they're finding the guy easy on the eyes, then maybe they're just not realizing that they are in the mood for that kind of company.
Oh no, no.
well,
Sylvana has engaged with men before. She does not find the lower bits attractive.
So in other words, Rye's girlfriend has a girlfriend,
Yes.
and is that okay?
Yeah, essentially. She,
It-
she'll turn to Belle and go, I have no problem if you want to engage in romantic engagements with Rye.
mm, well,
I
this is,
I just wish to engage in romantic engagements with you. And from my understanding, Rye has no issues with the reverse flow of this, where he's not going to have any romantic engagements with me, but with you. Is this correct, Rye?
Yeah, that's right.
So, Belle, it's not being selfish if all three of us agree to this.
uh, thank you. I just, well, it just, I, there are so many different ways that you're both so amazing, and I just, and here you are already being so good to each other. There's no words.
In which case, Sylvana will kind of sigh for a moment and go, I believe this sort of situation requires this. And she'll, like, grab both Rye and Belle and like pull them into a very rough hug, like not rough in like hardness, but like in skill. Like she is not used to contact like this.
More awkward than anything.
Yeah, it's more of an
Yes,
awkward
yes.
hug.
It's definitely one of those, yeah, it's definitely awkward on Belle's part too. It's like she's looking to Rye, who has been very very quiet, but yet very understanding.
Yep. And she will give Belle, Savannah will give Belle a kiss on the forehead, and then just give Rye a small pat on the head.
Right, likes that.
Yeah, it's just like,
And I was not intending for I just wanted to give them some peace and quiet away from the crazies. I wasn't intending for it to go here. I just wanted quiet.
It's like, it's like I was not prepared for this either.
Yeah, same.
yeah, like Savannah just kind of looks and just goes, "All right, wherever this goes, we'll figure it out as we go. It is up to you all, but for now, I think we can all agree we should all keep our separate sleeping arrangements as is."
Agree.
At the end of that, you hear a tentative knock from the little side door. Can I please come in to get away from the horrible sounds coming from outside?
Yes, Draha, you're more than welcome to come in. I think we all
It's
agreed
a
that.
lovely.
I open the door and they hear the noises coming from that room, and then they realize it's silent in that room. It's like, oh, thank God. I was going to go nuts.
Don't you want
I just
to
wanted to give
see?
you guys a chance in the quiet. I didn't
Alright.
expect them to go that far.
Let us rest for the rest of the day and get ready for the boat tomorrow. Okay?
Yes.
Yes.
All right.
All the while, the Croyd is just like, we want to see the love that is to be under the rule of Anuketna.
All right. What is? Give me a second. Group name. What was the name you guys came up with? I forget.
Ballards.
The ballards.
Yep.
Like ballads.
Yeah, just with a D. You know, like a ballad. You know, a song ballad.
Yeah. All right. I think ballads. BALLAD. Let me double check.
Then the word might be balladeers.
It
That
is.
were.
Balladeers sounds better.
Okay. Balladeers. Okay. Okay. If I could spell today would be nice. Okay, balladeer. There we go. A singer or composer of ballads.
I am not singing.
I will.
Well, it's singing.
I'm not either.
Doesn't necessarily have to be voice. Singing can be, you know, through magic or blade.
Or in this case, the inspiration.
Yeah.
All right.
Well,
so
Belle may not sing, but there's always Miss Di.
All right. So Rye, Belle, and Savannah will take one of the suites, and I feel like Draha's gonna rest in the suite room itself.
Yeah, she's crashing on the couch.
Yeah, which means Guy and the questers get the other suite.
Mm-hmm.
Finally, a bed. Last few nights have not been great.
Yeah. Now Savannah will take a hot bath that night. She goes, it's going to be the last one we're going to have for a while. So she is going to enjoy it.
Yes.
And she'll
Like,
Raha's waiting for her to be done so she can do the same.
I was going to say, all the ladies and Rye are probably all doing the same. Though Rye, there is one aspect of this whole situation that's weird, very weird for you.
Oh, okay.
No, this is actually the opposite of what most people would think. You're used to bath houses.
That's true.
yeah.
Yes.
So you're used to bathing in public with other guys. Here, everybody's bathing in private. This is throwing you off.
It definitely is, yes.
It's okay. I'll come bathe with you.
Yeah, but no, it's also the design of the bathroom is also going to throw Rye off. Because you're used to like giant tubs that have multiple people in them. And like the bathing part would happen in front of like a little pump that you would pump water out of and you just throw it over yourself.
Yes.
And that's the fancy baths. Normal baths for you is, hey, I'm going to jump in the fucking river.
I knew you were a river rat.
So, like,
Meanwhile,
the fact that every person here is bathing by themselves is going to throw Rye off, at least for a while.
Oh, Ryan's not bathing by himself. I'm gonna bathe with him.
That requires you to go into their suite. And,
well, you know.
And would you like to give me a disable device check to pick the lock? Okay. So, Hedon, I need you to roll me a d4. All right? Wait. Before you roll the d4, everybody's going to get a number, all right? I'm going to go from top left to clockwise, all right? So it'll be Bell is 1, Draha 2, Rye 3, Sylvana 4. Okay?
Okay.
Go ahead and roll me d4, 2. So you go in there because you don't realize who's in there at the time you go in, and it is Draha.
And I quickly leave.
So yeah, Draha, you see Hedon kind of like open the door to like talk to Rye, and then suddenly he sees you.
Maybe you do, because I'm trying to do it stealthily. Because I'm trying to get just Rye. Maybe, possibly.
Give me a perception. Now, mind you, there is going to be a penalty for opening this door.
Oh yeah.
She sees you.
Well.
So
how far into this bath would she be by the time he opens this door? Because that'll explain a lot more of why she doesn't like people so much.
You are in the tub.
He sees my back. He sees the scars running down her back. The straight line scars.
Ooh. Dun dun dun.
Yeah, dun dun dun.
And they literally look like blade marks were carved down her back.
But either way.
And the frying pan goes flying at the door.
Yep, bang! You hear the frying pan hit the door. And you're like, shit!
Roll for attack!
Wrong person.
At this point, Sylvana's coming out, and I am going to share what she looks like, so give me a minute. Because she was getting ready for bed. Travial.
Hey! I said roll for attack!
Yeah, roll for attack. Alright. Remove the pauldrons, but keep the same general theme of this.
Me? Ooh.
Yeah. I couldn't get the art to remove the pauldrons. It was being really much of a pain.
Do I get cover for the door?
Yes. What's your AC?
24.
All right, yeah, the door will give you enough cover to not get hit, so it does hit the door. So
Thank God.
Savannah comes out of the bedroom dressed like that, and she's holding what seems to be a smoking potion.
And I immediately grab a towel to throw over my shoulders.
Yeah.
Because I'm pissed.
Upon seeing Hedon, she will pour out the potion real quick so it stops smoking, and then she'll cover herself and go back into her room. Because she's in basically a nightie.
She has fancy camp wear.
She has fancy
She has fancy underwear.
Yeah, she has fancy sleepwear.
It's like, I missed this! Curses!
I mean, wouldn't Belle come out if she heard the frying pan?
Yeah.
So then she would see this.
And Draha is cursing in Celestial.
Am I seeing Draha too?
Yes.
With a towel over her shoulders at this point.
Oh. And it's just like...
So, Draha's upper body is covered, her lower body is not.
And I proceed to turn... It was like... It's like... I just momentarily, like... like... curse at Hedon a little bit, and is just like... for a moment is like... You see her consider something for a second, is like... Then I realize, oh yes, this is Draha. Draha can take care of herself. And I say, try not to get yourself killed before we're finished. And then is bright red and shuts the door.
Yep. Alright. And this is where we're gonna leave off. It's 9 o'clock. Rose, hush. I will look at it later.
What's today's date? It's the 5th or the 7th?
The 5th.
Okay.
Alright. So, no level. But that was definitely entertaining. So, thank you all who have been watching our wonderful stream today. Or, I wouldn't say stream, our video today. Sorry, I'm used to streaming. Our wonderful video today. I hope you had fun with the relationship shenanigans. Join us in 2 weeks for the boat ride and Hedon's possible death.
Yeah.
What?
It depends on if Draha gets a hold of you or not.
Oh no,
Yep.
I assure you I can get away.
All right. Well, everyone,
Don't worry.
audience, everybody in the audience, please make sure you're taking care of yourselves mentally and physically. That's always important. Please like, share, subscribe on the video. That would be great help. And until...
Remember,
Go ahead.
if you open a door while a woman is bathing, you might get a frying pan thrown at you.
Yep, with that being said, toodles.
Words to live by.
Have a nice night all. I gotta get ready for work.
I can't believe I actually got away with